In this podcast, we will conduct interviews and discussions on topics that may be controversial. You will hear us agree and disagree on various topics. Please note that we all respect each other's differing opinions and enjoy learning different mindsets. Here we will openly speak our truths without fear of being judged. The topics we choose to discuss are meant to bring to light knowledge that is known by some and will be beneficial for others to learn so that they can have a better understanding of those around them.
Hi guys, so welcome to our podcast, Breaking the Iceberg. I'm Maya, my pronouns are she, her, and I want to teach pre-K.
Hi, I'm Kurt, my pronouns are they, she, and I want to teach anywhere between 3rd to 5th grade.
Hi, I'm Red, my pronouns are she, her, and I want to teach elementary school, like 3rd, 2nd grade.
Hi, my name's Kaya, and my pronouns are she, her, and I want to teach somewhere between 3rd to 5th grade.
Hi, I'm Bianca. My pronouns are she, her, and I want to teach middle school, eventually getting into high school.
So, how are you guys feeling today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay, period. So today we're going to be talking about us as women and educators and why our opinions matter. Because I feel like we don't really get acknowledged that much and our voices don't really get heard. So this is our opportunity to, kind of express how we feel and things we want to change and how we're going to change it for the future. So yeah, how do you guys feel about that? Do you guys feel like you're being heard as a woman and as an educator in this world?
I feel like a lot of times, as women throughout my career, I don't feel very heard as a woman because I feel like men get chosen for things over women because for some reason they seem like they can do the job better.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's not the case whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Men can do great things too, but we can both do great things.
Right. Okay, yeah, I agree with that, Bianca. So what are you guys' personal goals as an educator? I know we're in college right now and we're going through it from the learning process, but how do you want to be as a teacher when you're out there in the classroom? What are some things that you're gonna do in your classroom to teach your students? Anyone? How do you think you're gonna be as a teacher? First day, you got your classroom, you're setting everything up, and you're getting ready to meet your new students. How are you gonna go into that?
I want to make it very clear to my students that it's a very open, comfortable space, that they're free to express who they are in my classroom, and there's no judgments in there, because even as young kids they can still feel that anxiety of meeting new people, of being in a classroom, of being judged, of not being able to be who they are, because you have no idea what's happening in their home life. So if they are in a comfortable space in their classroom from day one, they are more likely to be able to achieve better things because they can be who they are.
Yeah, I hated that anxiety on the first day of school. I remember in elementary school going in on the first day, seeing so many kids in the classroom. It was I didn't want to say anything, and I was so scared on my first day. I was the student that didn't talk on the first day, except for when the teacher told me to say my name and introduce myself. And that was another thing that I hated, was being called out on the spot to say your name and your favorite thing.
I hate those.
Yeah, especially being in a class with 27, almost 30 kids. I feel comfortable when it's smaller, I guess, but
you're put on the spot in a big group.
Yes.
And you don't have to learn right away to stand up and speak out in front of people. That just brings so much anxiety. Because I know for me, I was always sitting there counting how many students were going before me and how long I had until I was the one speaking, practicing in my head so that hopefully I wouldn't stutter or mess up. Yeah. So it just brought a lot of anxiety.
Or the littlest thing, for when they would call attendance, and then it would get to your name, and you're here, and I would judge the way I was saying here, if my voice cracks.
How did that sound? Did I squeak?
Here? Like, that would already be embarrassing on the first day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was good. I think that's
Yeah,
really good.
I like the idea of making everyone comfortable.
Right, yeah.
Because the judgment, like, especially, like, as you get through middle school, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, I feel like 8th grade to high school was, like, the most judgmental time.
Yeah.
For sure.
The most judgmental time.
Yeah. It's because we're judging ourselves.
Yeah.
And it starts at a young age.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very young age, because everyone's already judging you right from the get-go. And then,
Shoes you're wearing, clothes you're wearing.
Exactly.
Yes,
how your hair is.
everything.
Yeah.
And everyone nitpicks what you do, what you say.
Yes.
It's hard.
And it makes, like, on top of having to learn things, like, it makes it so much harder because you're sitting there focused, like, on what everyone else is thinking. So if you go ahead and create that non-judgmental space, like, hopefully we can help those students that already prejudge themselves and worry. Maybe it can help them open up and feel comfortable. And hopefully we can make them comfortable enough to where if they do feel judged, they feel uncomfortable, they can come to us.
For sure,
So that we can try to adjust things and make them feel more
I feel like there's not enough of that right now, like comfortability with the teacher and telling the teacher things. Like, we need to change that as we become educators. Like, I want each and every individual student to feel like they can come to me with anything, even if they need help, like with the smallest thing. I want them to be comfortable with, like, telling me, and we can go from there. But some students, they just don't want to be a bother, or they feel like it's not appropriate for school, but I don't care.
It's definitely like that in Florida right now.
Yeah.
The confidentiality is very, like, it's not there
Yeah.
anymore. Like, yes, I get parents being involved, and it's very crucial for parents to be involved in their child's learning education.
Mm-hmm.
But outing your students to their parents is not morally right to me.
Yeah.
It's not right in general, no matter what.
But unfortunately, like, that's a legal side
Yeah.
that we're gonna be a part of. So those are situations we're gonna have to figure out how we go about it legally and also, like, respectfully and following our own morals.
And keep the child safe.
Exactly, because their safety is number one priority.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We're more than just teachers. Like, we're not there to just teach them. Like, we're a lot more. It's like, I don't want to say we're exactly like another set of parents, but like,
Sometimes
we're a
we
lot more.
are
We're
the
their
parents.
teacher,
Yeah,
we're
I
their
mean,
mom or
yeah.
dad, we're their counselor,
Their
we're
nurse
all in one.
sometimes.
Their therapist.
Yes.
Yes, it's all in one,
a
not
lot
just
of
a
hats to
teacher.
wear.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I think the main thing that I want to focus on, in addition to making sure that my classroom is a non-judgmental environment, is just let them know, like, like how we are, like, it's okay to disagree, like, it's okay to speak up, and, like, just don't be a bully. Like, what do you get out of it? Like, how does that boost you to be mean to someone else because they're poor and they couldn't afford new clothes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, one thing that, like, really absolutely killed me in 8th grade, I was absolutely, like, bullied. Like, I had maybe one best friend and that's it, and I got completely judged and I was bullied. Like, I ran for student body president and they ripped my posters off the wall or drew mustaches on them.
Are you
or
serious?
said I was a cheerleader. So they would, like, write cheerleaders can't be president, cheerleaders aren't smart. Like, I had all A's, like, I made good grades, I was smart, but I was seen as, like, this poor dumb kid. And I used to, back in my day, we did highlights. I put the cap on. We put the cap on, and you pull it through, and you dye
Oh, I know.
it.
Yeah.
And so
I
my
think they
mom-
still do that though.
Yeah,
Is it
That's
still-
not that old.
Okay.
That's not that old.
I just said my mom
It's
did
illegal. So my mom did that, and, like, I don't know, we messed up, left it on too long, whatever, and it turned orange instead of blonde. It was orange, but I couldn't go back and re-dye my hair that same day. So I had to go to school the next day, and I got called orange trash.
What?
Orange trash was my new nickname.
That's crazy.
And so I went to the office, called my mom crying, and this woman came up with money out of nowhere to take me to get this bougie hairstyle. Like,
that's
I
so
was looking
sweet.
great, and no one's had anything to say the next day.
That's so sweet. You
I
shut
don't-
them right up.
Sure did. I don't want kids to go through that because it really sucks. Like, it messed with like, my learning. Like, I wasn't able to focus in school because I could hear people whispering about me, and it was just awful. So I really want to like put a stop to like the bullying. Like, let's all just be accepting.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like that kind of stuff starts from home and with the parents?
Just about to say that.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, is that behavior like taught or like observed from home? But,
yeah, I think that's definitely a part of it. It starts from home. Some kids like that don't get attention from home, or they like start judging themselves. They like reflect that onto other people, and that's what we're here for, to make a change. But also, you know, the parents kind of have to help a little bit too. Yeah, like you can't just send them to school and say bye. I'll see you at 3:00 when you get out of school. Like, go learn, and I'll see. Like it's a free daycare or something. Like
that's what they look at it as.
That is some parents do.
See it as, like just daycare.
But no, this is they are our future.
So
it's very important. Like we all got to put in. You can't just send them to school because they're just not at home eating your food and you don't have to watch them. They're our future, and it's important.
They really are. Like, they're going to be the future leaders of this country. So the generations that we are teaching, like, we have to put our all into helping make them successful human beings.
And to find themselves, like, as a person.
Yes.
Like, we can't look at them as our students. We have to look at them as they're human. We have to help them figure out their identity, like who they are, what they like to do.
I'm gonna say, what if the parents don't necessarily want you to teach them that? Like, what if they're against like all of that? And
Dang, that's a good question.
You're indoctrinating the kids. That'll be what you're told. You're indoctrinating.
That is definitely something that I really just haven't sat down and thought about.
I feel like my initial answer would be, as long as I'm not like doing anything legally wrong, my goal is to teach them how to be a good person. If the parents aren't teaching them to be nice, I'm going to teach them to be nice, and I'm just going to have to stand by what I do.
That's definitely going to be a big challenge.
For sure.
Especially if our goal is to try to teach them about this social construct and how to break out of it. That's going to be a big challenge because parents, they're going to have stuff to say.
Yes.
And sometimes you're just going to have to, like, kind of go against it. But as long as I'm not, like, hurting them or, you know, like, doing something illegally, I feel like I can do it.
And you have to be willing to fight for what you're doing because, for example, if you're queer, if you're a person of color, whatever it may be, you're already going to be under fire, and there's going to be parents who don't want their child in your classroom from the get-go. So then adding on to that of trying to make this open environment, helping kids find out their identity, helping them break out of the social construct is going to be so hard. And if parents catch wind of that, you're going to have to be willing to fight for what you're doing.
You just got to stand your ground. Because I feel like none of us will be doing anything that is harmful. Like, everything we want to do is helpful, but we're going to be fighting. And my hope for all of us is that we are able to stick with this and stand our ground and not fall into like this like factory assembly line of just teaching them. Because although like teaching is making sure they like understand the message and understanding everything they're learning, but it's way beyond that. So I know that it's going to be hard to stick with all these extra things we have to do, but I feel like, judging from like hearing everything we're saying, like we definitely all have a higher purpose for teaching. Like we're not just going for the summers and the weekends off, like the steady paycheck. Or we just love kids.
Right, like I feel like it's more important to want to be a teacher because some people become a teacher just for those reasons. And that's why that's a terrible thing. If that's your only reasoning, you're probably not fit to be a great teacher.
No, you're going to be letting kids down.
Like I genuinely enjoy teaching and I genuinely enjoy like children, and I feel like I'm going to be probably doing this for a long time. Like I don't care how hard it gets, like I want to do this for a long time. Like,
I want to make a difference.
Yes, like I want like the kids to like, I want to be their favorite teacher. Like honestly, like I want them to remember me when they get older. Like, oh my gosh, I remember. Like, I want to be like that, right?
There for me when
I'm trying to make that big of an impact, like seriously, because teachers that I've had have that impact on me, and I want to repeat that. All All right, so moving on to the next question. Bianca, can you repeat it for us, what we're about to get into now?
So since we all want to be great teachers that make an impact, I want to talk about one teacher or professor that has really made an impact on your growth and learning. Someone that was there for you. They didn't just teach you the content, but they were there when you needed them. So Kaya, you want to go first on yours?
Yeah, I do have an instance where a teacher was there for me. I was, I think, a couple weeks after I had started my period. I was sitting in the class. We were all taking a quiz. I got up, went to her desk. It was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. I need help with something. And then I turned around, went back. It was like, Kaya, you have something on your pants. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, you need to go to the restroom. I went to the restroom. It's just all big spot. I was wearing gray leggings.
That is
so embarrassing.
And there was a spot on the chair.
Oh my gosh.
From what she told me later. And I was crying. I was bawling my eyes out.
Did you know, like, what it was when it happened?
Yeah, I knew
Okay, so you're familiar, like,
yeah.
I'm going to get it soon, okay.
And she came, not came, but yeah, no, she did. She came to the restroom and was like, hey, I got the nurse outside. She's here. She will walk you to
That's
class.
So sweet.
It was, I was bawling my eyes out. And I could hear, I guess, my friend, she could hear the people laughing a little bit
What were they laughing?
in class.
Like, what's funny?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Literally.
What's funny?
Please tell me. I don't know what's funny. And after everyone went to, like, it was like class change. It was like 30 minutes left. It was a few minutes left before class, and then that situation happened. Class changed, and the nurse took me to the nurse's office. And I just remember her because she was there for you.
Yes,
and, like,
yeah.
a very vulnerable moment.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's so.
Pretty embarrassing.
And she did it in like such a way that it didn't call you out.
Or
Right,
embarrassing.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was quiet about it and was there to help you. Like, she didn't just send you to the bathroom. Like, she was
Bawling
there
my
for
eyes
you.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
She was out there for me.
That's really sweet.
That was sweet. What grade was that?
I was in middle school, and it was 7th grade.
Oh, so sweet.
Aw,
Yes.
that's such a baby age.
Right? Red?
Okay, my story was, I remember back when I was in like elementary, middle school, I guess, around there. I don't remember exactly what grade. I was in the change room. Like, this is a pretty long story, so I'm gonna rush it. So I was in the change room, and I think somebody accused me of something that I didn't do. So it was like, accused me of bullying. There was this girl, and I guess like I was looking over in her direction. I wasn't paying attention. I was young. I don't even know what was happening. And this teacher came up to me, and she was like, did you call my student fat? And I was like, what? No, I never done that. And she came up to me and she was like, well, I don't want you disrespecting my students. Don't ever do that again. And I was like, I didn't even do anything.
False accusation.
A few seconds later, she came back to me. She's like, I'm so sorry. It was a different person. I didn't mean to come up to you like that, whatever. And I was like, she's such a great teacher. She came up and was like really nice to her student about whatever the situation was. Like, her student was like, hey, somebody's bullying me. And she came up to the student. So I was like, I wish I had her one day. Fast forward, I had her. There was these students who were bullying me about not being able to ride my training wheels. And she said, she came up to me, she was like, Red, hey, I know like people are bullying you about your training wheels or whatever. I can always teach you how to ride a bike if you need to. If there's any time you can come to the school, we can go over. I'll teach you how to ride a bike. I'll do it. I'll help you. And I was shocked. I was like, you stood up to me like for another student. You apologized to me, and I was like, no teacher has ever apologized to me. And then now it's my turn to get bullied or whatever, and you're standing up for me. I was like, this teacher, I want to be this teacher. I want to be this teacher so bad. And I was like, I was crying. I was like, this is so like. I was like, thank you so much. Like, yeah, I'll take you up on your offer if I ever have the opportunity. I went home and I learned how to ride a bike. Like that's
Learn how to ride that bike.
I really wanted to be a teacher after that. I was like, yeah, I like this teacher.
Yeah, I love that one-on-one connection that she made with you in that moment. Yeah. Like, take the time out for each individual student.
That makes a difference.
Yeah,
it does. It really does.
And you learn how to ride a bike. So it's a win-win situation. All right, Kurt.
So in high school, I was in the theater class. I became a theater kid just for all 4 years. And I originally wasn't even in there to do anything with theater. I just wanted kind of a safer place with no judgment from other students because most people in theater classes are queer. And
I was in theater.
So throughout high school, I kind of struggled with my identity, trying to figure out who I was, what I identified as. I flipped back and forth from thinking I was a trans man to thinking I'm non-binary. I kept going back and forth. The entire time, my theater teacher was the strongest person of just letting me figure out who I am. And every single year, she would cast me in male roles, which was crazy for the school. And she got a lot of backlash for that because a transgender student in the South, that's crazy. Getting casted as what they want in theater, that's just crazy. And she let me pick just who I wanted to be in that class, and that felt very refreshing because not a lot of other teachers had done that for me and let me express who I was and choose who I wanted to be. And I always knew I wanted to be like that in the future, where I'm not dictating an identity for a student. I am letting the student come to me with who they are and letting them express it.
Love that.
Wow.
I love that, yeah.
Yes. That's so comforting.
Finding your identity. I love that. Oh,
All right, Maya.
Okay, mine isn't like, my example of a good teacher isn't really like a one-on-one situation. And it was in 3rd grade, but it goes into 4th grade. Okay, so I had this teacher in 3rd grade, and she was like my favorite teacher of all time. Like, she was she was the teacher that taught me that like asking questions and like admitting that you don't understand is okay. Like, I had a problem with never raising my hand because I literally like was so anxious in school. I was so like antisocial. I wouldn't talk to anyone really, and I wouldn't like to ask questions because when you ask questions you think, oh, how do you not understand that? You're dumb or whatever. But she would literally like be teaching like math or something, and at the end of like every lesson she would literally be like, so does anyone have any questions? Let me know now. It's okay to ask it. And she would give like reassurance, like it's okay. Like because no one would ever raise their hand. She's like, I know someone has a question. Like, she wouldn't go on until the next lesson until someone asked the question. Mm-hmm. And so I would always like ask her questions if I didn't understand, especially about math. Ooh, I'd be struggling in math. And I would just like feel so comfortable asking her questions. But basically, the biggest part that I loved about her is she loved our class so much that we had her in 3rd grade, and she started teaching 4th grade so that we could have her for 3rd and 4th grade. So basically she transferred to 4th grade, and she moved up with us when we went to 4th grade. We had the same class 3rd and 4th grade, and she moved up to 4th grade. And I think she left after that, which was so crazy because I think she was already supposed to leave, but she kept teaching that extra year to stay with us. And that's just like really, that just stayed with me because it showed how much she cared about us. Like, she wanted to stay with us for the whole 2 years, 3rd and 4th grade, and see us improve. And once I got to 5th grade, she just like taught me so much, and I was so ready for 5th grade because 5th grade was most important to get into middle school or whatever. But that just stuck with me. Like, she literally moved up with us, and she was always there for us, personal and everything. I wish I could say her name, but yeah, I give her props for that. I really love that about her. And if I could move up with my students, I definitely will. But that just stuck with me.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome that she continued.
Yes,
Because it really helps, especially like in that time where you're young and you're trying to figure out school,
Literally.
and like you have this teacher you're comfortable with, for them to stay with you, like that's really awesome.
Yeah, it was very comfortable.
Because some parents are just like, this is easy. Why can't you solve this?
Right, like I was just
Lots of
born.
vision parts.
I was just born 7 years ago. Like, and you're not gonna teach me this,
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
But
Math has evolved a lot.
oh my gosh,
It's
yes,
so hard now.
it is hard. Math has always been hard. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my experience with a good teacher. Bianca, last but not least.
All right, after hearing y'all, like I didn't have that like extreme one-on-one personal connection.
That's
I
how
didn't.
I felt.
I didn't have teachers that were that good. So like my idea of a good teacher, like all that I had to go off of was my junior year in high school. I had a biology teacher, and I loved the class. But, like I had moved high schools, so I actually had friends. So I had a lot of my friends in that class, and they were all goofing off, and I still just, like, I wanted to learn the things, but for some reason, whether it was distractions, whatever, like, things weren't clicking. And I was doing, like, okay in the class, like, I was making B's, but, like, I wanted A's. I was trying to graduate with honors, and this was honors biology. And so she offered free tutoring after school. And I know that that's a lot, because, like, teachers aren't getting paid for that tutoring usually. So that was her time, and I was the only kid to show up for tutoring, and I could like see it on her face that she's like, oh my gosh, I have to stay here for this one student. But she didn't send me away, and she helped me. She made sure I understood the concepts, and then if we had a test the next day, she would literally hold the test and go through it with me. Like, she would read the test questions and make sure I got the right answer. She'd go through it multiple times until I verbally made 100 on that test. And so I ended up making like maybe 98, 99 on the following test because she took the time. Like, even though it was just me, multiple tutoring sessions, it was just me. She stayed there and did that. And then there was a point where my friends were like, oh my gosh, like, how'd you do so well on this? Like, tutoring. She offers tutoring, guys, and take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And then the very next tutoring session, there were like 10 of us in there.
You influenced them.
Yeah, so that's pretty much
awesome.
like the best. A lot of mine, I didn't have great
That's
experiences.
awesome. I
Those
love
are the
that.
best that I had.
For some reason, when I was going through school, I didn't like tutoring. Because
Why?
then again, I feel like you go to tutoring because you're
Because
dumb.
you feel dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're dumb. And that was like my thing that I was holding against myself throughout school. Like,
Yeah.
even my mom would get on to me and be like, it's okay to ask questions. Like, that was something I just would never... I didn't start asking questions really until I got to like high school.
Yeah.
And was like, okay, let me start really asking so I can really learn what is being taught to me.
Yeah.
But my mom would always say, you can go to tutoring, and I would just be like, no, like...
That's for dumb people.
That's for dumb... Yeah, I'd be like, that's... But now,
Yeah.
free tutoring, I'm there.
I'm like, yeah, you're gonna offer tutoring.
I'm there.
I'm going.
And it's so fun when you actually learn it, and then
Yeah.
it's fun when you're doing the problems or finally understanding and figuring it out. I don't know. I just like had this thing with it, but I love that she did that for you, and then you influence other people to come.
Yeah.
And learning is fun.
Learning is fun.
It's really fun. Yeah.
It is fun when you just like gain that knowledge and you understand things. Like
Mhm.
when you can read the test questions. Because I don't know about y'all, but like I am awful at test taking. I am awful.
Same.
I read the questions wrong. I miss the word not. I read my answers wrong. Like I second guess myself and go back and change it. Like I'm awful at tests, and I don't care if people say you can't just be bad at tests, you're dumb. No, that's not a thing. Like
No.
tests are stressful. I'd rather apply it. But like since school right now is being able to regurgitate that information on a test, that tutoring was extra helpful, and it was very hard to step in that first day because I didn't want to be seen as dumb. Like here's this like honors kid going to take tutoring. Yeah, but that changed it. And now here I am, math and science middle grades major.
Yes.
So thank you.
All right.
All right, so we're going to end this with a quote that we all try to live by and will continue to live by as we enter our teaching career.
All right, so I guess we're going to say it at the same time. Are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Perfect. Okay, guys, we'll see you on episode 2.
Let's go.
Bye.